vivati purvam yo vai vedanscha prahinoti tasmai tamha devamatma buddhi prakasham mumukshurvai sharanamaham prapadye. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartribhyo Vamsharishibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhyaha Sarvopaplavarahitaha Prajnanaganaha Pratyagartho Brahmaivahamasmi Brahmaivahamasmi. Om Vedantartha Vibhasakaya Gurave Shantaya Sanyasine Nanavadi Nagendra Sanghapavaye Yogindra Vandyaya Cha Mohadvanta Divakaraya Bhagavat Padabhidham Bibhrate Tasmai Bhashyakrite Namostu Satatam Purnaya Bodhatmane. Om Yasya Nishvasitam Vedaha Yo Vede Yo Vedebhyo Khilam Jagat Nirmametamaham Vande Vidyatirthamaheshwaram Vidyatirthamaheshwaram. Suta Samhita is a portion of the Skanda Purana, one of the 18 Puranas whose bulk is quite voluminous. It's a voluminous text, the Skanda Purana. And in that, one section is called as the Suta Samhita, one canto is Suta Samhita. There are several chapters and sub-chapters in that. So, in Suta Samhita, it has happened that the Varnashrami has been described. Ativarnashrami. Ativarnashrami means the one who has transcended the Varna and Ashrama systems. Varna and Ashrama systems are extremely important for functioning of a society in which the roles are well defined, the duties are well defined, and therefore, when each person is doing the allocated work which comes to him from his lineage, then that person now has the clarity of what he is doing, and thus he will never have the confusion as which career to choose, what not to do, There's a lot of confusion and preoccupation of such a person can be overcome, of any person can be overcome, which follows the varnashrama system. And that gives time, space, energy, and intelligence to the person that is available. His time is available, the space is available, the intelligence is available, energy is available for a person now to make an inquiry into the reality of life. When one is constantly occupied only by the anxiety of career, making money, the insecurities of being chucked away from a job and then choosing another line, so on and so forth. So also when a person is not clear as what stage of life he is at, then the duties of that particular stage, which now gradually will take him to the next stage, are not clear to the person. And hence, Varna system and Ashrama system are extremely important. Though it is important till the end of life for a person, yet there is going to be someone who is going to be free from the shackles of this, of all the societal and personal systems. And therefore, he is going to be free from karma. Such a person is called as Ativarnashrami. Now, this Ativarnashrami is not an ordinary person who has rebelled against the societal and personal systems of living. In fact, he is the one who has transcended them all. And his transcendence is not simply renunciation of these systems, but that renunciation arrives because of knowledge. Because of knowledge. So now let us look at this section of the Sutta Samhita. Another thing that we have to note going through all these various pramanas that have been given is through all these various Puranas, Shruti, and Smritis, we have seen that Jivanmukti is made evident, and therefore these sections of the shlokas are the pramanas for Jivanmukti. It is, and therefore the chapter is also called as Jivanmukti Pramanam. Okay, it is that prakaranam. It is that grantha which deals with the pramanam, making the pramanam available to establish Jivanmukti. Now, we already have begun this particular portion, and we are at this. So I will, recapitulate a little bit from the shlokas that we have already done, and then go further. Yasharirendriyadibhyo vibhinnam sarvasakshinam parmarthika vijnanam sukhatmanam swayam prabham param tattvam vijanati sotivarnashrami bhaved param tattvam vijanati sotivarnashrami bhave. Yaha sarva sharirendriyadibhyah vibhinnam sarvasakshinam janati. What does he know? That he knows that the self is other than the body-mind complex. And therefore, the attributes of body, the attributes of the indriyas, the attributes of the and the mind. So body, sharira, indriya, and mana. All these things, the attributes belong to the body. How can they belong to the self? The attributes belong to the indriyas. How can those attributes belong to the self? The attributes belong to the antakaranam. How can it belong to the self? And thus the self is that which is vibhinnam, is other than this body-mind complex. In fact, is sarvasakshinam, is the witness of all, parmarthika vijnanam, and in reality is pure consciousness, pure knowledge. What is the nature of this sarvasakshi? The sarvasakshi is of the nature of just pure consciousness. And so, sukhatmanam, and is infinite, and because infinite is of the nature of joy, that which is limited is dukkham. And what is sukham then? What is sukham? That which is not limited is sukham. Yadvai bhuma tat sukham, yadvai alpam tad dukkham. What is that which is limited is indeed dukkham. And that what is without any limits, that what is limitless is sukham. And so what is the nature of this Atma is sukham. And sukham means is limitless. So therefore, swayam prabham, and self-illuminous, does not require any agency to illuminate. The ghatapatadi prapancha, a pot, the cloth, etc., this whole prapancha, this world, requires the eyes, ears, the panchajnanendriyas, the mind, the vritti to illuminate. Right up to ahankar and witness, everything is required for the prapancha to be illumined. But this Atma is self-evident, does not require any agency to make it evident. Swayam Prabham, and this is the Param Tattva, is Brahman, is Anantam. So the limitations belong to the body-mind complex and to the world. The limitations do not belong to the self, that which is the very substratum of this entire world of names and forms. And so, how is it? He who knows this fact about the self and who recognizes this Brahman as Atma, as himself, so he is called as Ativarnashrami. Okay? So for him, the Tat Padartha, Tvam Padartha, and the Aikyam of Tat and Tvam is known. So Yo Vijanati, he who thus knows, is Ativarnashrami. But sir, how has he come to know? Is it some sort of his mental fabrication? That Aham Brahma, Aham Brahma. So it is said, Yo Vedanta Mahavakya Shravane Naiva Keshava Atmanam Ishwaram Veda Soti Varnashrami Bhave. Yo Vedanta Mahavakya Shravane Naiva Keshava Atmanam Ishwaram Veda Soti Varanashrami Bhaven. So it is now said, how did he know that Atma is Ishvara, is Brahman? How did he know? That the pramanam, the means through which this knowledge has come to him is the Vedanta Mahavakya. Okay? Is through the Vedanta Mahavakya. And that Shravanena, and Shravanam also means Tatparya Nishchayaha, conclusive understanding. So Nishchaya means understanding which is certain. It has certainty. It is not maybe, maybe not that sort, with certainty. So it is the conclusion that the buddhi has arrived, and this conclusion is faultless, and therefore Tatparya Nishchayaha. So that Tatparya Nishchaya is called as Shravanam. So he has therefore undergone this process of Shravana Manana Nididhyasanam, and thus because of which now he is Ativaranashrami. In case of certain sages, in this life it may not be seen that that person has gone to the teacher, taken refuge at his feet, and systematically done the Shravana Manana Nididhyasanam. You may not see him having done it in this life, but that does not mean that he has not done. In fact, he has done it. So that Shravana Mananam Nididhyasanam was already done, but there was some pratibandha. Now with, something happens and that Nididhyasanam continues in this life too. And with a little push, now some event or something, now that pratibandha is gone. And when the pratibandha is gone, pratibandha means the obstacle is gone, the knowledge now shines forth. And so some people, they say, oh, he did not have any guru, so we don't need any guru. Hey, no. Shruti says, Gurumeva avigachet. So also Bhagavan Shri Krishna over there tells you that go to this Tattvajnani, go to this Tattvavet, Tattvajnani, and he will tell you what is the reality of this God. So Vedanta Mahavakya Shravanena Eva He Keshava, because it is a dialogue, that is the conversation that is happening between Bhagavan Vishnu and Bhagavan Shankar. So Bhagavan Shiva now over here is telling Vishnu Bhagavan as who is Ativaranashrami. So he says, He Keshava. Keshava is one epithet of Bhagavan Vishnu. So He Keshava, he who has known the self as Brahman through the Shravanam done of the Mahavakyam, Vedanta Mahavakya Shravanena eva, He Keshava, Atmanam Ishwaram Veda, he who thus now knows that this Atma is Brahman. Atma is Brahman is not his belief. Atma is Brahman is his knowledge. Is his knowledge. And so, Ishwar, now whatever other things that you hold about yourself, that I am a man, I am woman, I am good, bad, papi, punyavan, successful, not so successful, all these ideas are your beliefs. But I am is knowledge. And this knowledge that you are certain about, what is the nature of this I, whose presence can never be refuted, whose presence can never be falsified or even altered. What is the nature of this self? What is the nature of this I? And it is said, the self is Ishvaraha. Yo Atmanam Ishwaram Veda. How does he know Atma? How does he know the self? As Ishvaraha. So Atmanam Ishwaram Veda. Veda means he who knows. So Tivarnashrami Bhaved. Thus he is a person who has transcended all the classification of Varna and Ashrama. He is that sage. Yo Varnashrama Nirmuktam Avasthatraya Sakshinam Mahadevam Vijanati Soti Varnashrami Bhave. Yo Varnashrama Nirmuktam. He who knows that the rules of Varna and Ashrama are not applicable to the self. Why are they not applicable? Because the self is the witness of all the three avasthas. For example, in Jagrat Avastha, you may recognize yourself as a Brahmana, as a man, as a brahmachari or a sannyasi, or as a grihastha. Then you dream. You have a dream in which you see yourself as a stree, as a woman, and then you also see that you are not a Brahmin, but maybe belonging to Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, some other Varna. And Ashrama also, maybe now he sees this, he's a Grihastha here, but he sees himself over there as somebody who has outgrown the duties of a Grihastha and is a Vanaprastha. And therefore, now what does he call himself in the state of dream? I am a Vanaprasthi. And in Jagrat Avastha, what does he call himself? A Grihastha. But the one who is that self which is illumining the Jagrat, Swapna and Sushupti. And in Sushupti, there is no mention of any Varna, Ashrama. So he is neither a Brahmana, Kshatriya or Vaishya, Shudra. He is neither Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha or Sannyasi. What is he then? The witness of all these three states. Is the witness of all these three states. And so, Avastha Traya Sakshinam, how is this a Sakshi of all the three Avasthas? Is Varnashrama Vinirmuktaha and Mahadevam Vijanati. This is Bhagavan Shiva, Mahadeva. This is what Paramatma is. He who thus knows Paramatma like this, as free from all the Varnashrama, and that is what I am. So his recognition of the self is not with any other ideas and concepts, but he sees himself free from all this. And it is not only in the state of meditation that he knows that I am free from all this. This I, this is the very nature of the I which does not alter, whether it is Jagrat, Swapna or Sushupti. The Ahankara can change from good mood to bad mood. I am happy to I am sad, from I am old to from I am young to I am old. So on and so forth. I am poor to I am rich. So I am uneducated to I am educated. So on and so forth. The Ahankara, it can change. But the witness of this Ahankara, that I am, never undergoes any change and is the illuminator of all the three avasthas. And this consciousness is the very substratum of this entire world, whether by the world, the physical world, the what do they call, Panchikrita Pancha Mahabhautika world, or the Panchikrita Mahabhautika world, which is the Sukshma Samashti, or even the Karana Samashti of all this. He is the very substratum. And thus, this is the nature of Paramatma, and that is my nature, and therefore, that what is called as Paramatma is the self. Lakshanaikye, Lakshaikyam. When the Lakshanas match, that means the Laksha is also the same. Lakshanaikye, Lakshaikyam. So that what was said to be the very nature of Paramatma, he discovers it is his own nature, and therefore that what was called as Paramatma is nothing other than the self, is not other than the self, and that is what I am. He who thus knows is called as Ativaranashrami. You know what? Because we do not have any light over here, the electricity. I think we will have, I cannot read the book, and so we may have to stop over here. Nevertheless, but we are in the section where the Ativaranashrami has been described by Bhagavan Shiva to Bhagavan Vishnu. This is what I am, and this should be, when this is your knowledge about the self, that Ativaranashrami is you, because that is description of Brahman, and that Brahman I am. So he who thus knows such a sage is called as Ativaranashrami. He is Jivanmukta, and if he is Jivanmukta, then what does he have? Jivanmukti. And therefore, all these descriptions, all these passages are the pramanam to establish Jivanmukti. All right. I think I will stop over here and let it be, so we can continue in our next session.
Swamiji, I just have a question.
Yeah, please.
It was very nice you mentioned this sentence. I just want to note it down, and if you can just explain once more. You said Lakshana Ikye.
Lakshana Aikye.
So that word Ikye, how do you pronounce? Aikye. I, it's a long I. Aikye.
Lakshana Aikye.
And Lakshanam.
Lakshya Aikyam.
Lakshya.
Lakshya, Yakara.
Yakara, Lakshya Aikyam. Aikyam. So what is this Aikyam, Swamiji?
Say suppose I tell you, please go to the railway station, and there is one Mr. Patel coming, and you have to bring him from the railway station. He is a 6 foot tall man wearing a red shirt and a blue hat. Okay? And he is, say, about 25, 30 years, and you will see him at the railway station under the clock. And so so now you have the Lakshanam. I have told you the Lakshanam, but there is one Mr. Patel like this. Then you go over there, and then you discover that there are hundreds of people who are wearing red shirt. Then out of those people, then what do? You search for somebody who is 6 foot tall. So the other things you have dropped, and then you look for red shirt in 6 foot tall. Then there are many tall people also, but then you look for a blue hat, and then you see that there is a blue hat, long, 6 feet tall, and red shirt. So the Lakshanam matches with the person who is standing under the clock. So when the Lakshanas match, what do you understand? The one who was meant by the description is this person, Aikyam.
Yes.
So this Aikyam, this one is the one. So Lakshana Aikye, Laksha Aikyam. So when it is said, what is the nature of Paramatma? The nature of Paramatma is pure existence, consciousness, and Anantam, means infinite, limitless. Well, sir, what is the nature of this self? Then you are going to say, well, this I am a man, I am a woman, I was born in time, I'm going to die in time. So you are saying that you are limited, correct? But then these are the attributes of the body. When this body was born, when it would die, so this do not belong to the self, but they belong to the body. So, and then therefore, what have you found? That, well, the limitations belong to the body. And if those limitations belong to the body, which is something that is witnessed by me, therefore they do not belong to me. And I am conscious. So am I just conscious being, or am I consciousness? So over there, then you discover I'm not an object of consciousness, but I am consciousness itself. Okay? The body, mind, etc. can be the objects of consciousness, but I am that consciousness, I am that awareness, and then finally the existence. I'm existing, or I'm existence. So now, when the vichara is done through the Viveka, discernment, what have you understood? This through the discrimination, that you have understood, I am pure existence, consciousness that is limitless. What is the Lakshanam of Paramatma? Satchidananda, pure existence, consciousness without any limitation. And that is what you have found as is your own nature. And therefore the Lakshanam of Paramatma and Lakshana of this Atma, they meet, they are one and the same. And therefore, how can you now say, what is the reason because of which you will say Atma and Paramatma are different? So what will you now say? Lakshana Aikye, Lakshya Aikyam. Okay? So he who thus knows Atma, he who knows Mahadeva, means Paramatma, like this, is Ativarnashrami. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavadvyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha Om. Thank you all.